Like, this is a hard R, and don't you forget it. Hey everybody, welcome back to our channel. We are The Movie Couple. I'm Wendy.
I'm Dustin.
And we are here to give you our non-spoiler review of Logan. So Logan is directed by James Mangold. It stars, of course, Hugh Jackman as Logan, aka Wolverine. In case you didn't know, I don't consider that as a spoiler. Patrick Stewart's back as Professor Xavier and introducing Daphne Keane as X-23. In this movie, we see an older Logan caring for Professor X, who is not doing so well. He's also aged quite a lot. And they're hiding out, but of course, trouble follows wherever Logan goes. So a young mutant comes into his life, of which, of course, trouble follows.
A lot of trouble. Of course, you know, that's the way it always is for Logan and Wolverine and Professor X. It seems like age has finally caught up with them. And it's how you would think that, you know, someone who's been immortal for so long would start kind of dealing with this kind of revelation that he's getting older, that he's now, you know, he's seen so many people in his life, you know, die, and he's caring for the last remnant of that.
Yes, there is not a lot of mutants left. So in this movie, you definitely see that Logan's very broken down, and he's just trying to, I don't want to say be forgotten, but he's trying not to stand out. He's definitely, hiding the fact that he is mutant, like he has done before, and trying to lead somewhat of a normal life, trying to make the money to care for the sick professor. And I really enjoy seeing that relationship right off the bat, because I'm trying to guess how many years has passed, and maybe the comic book fans out there who know the timeline really well would know. I
think in the movie they said it was like 2029. So it's not in that far of the future, which I kind of like. And they do kind of give a reason why all of the mutants are gone. But I just really liked the chemistry and the interaction between Professor X and Logan. It really did kind of become that father-son relationship. And then when you brought in X-23, you get this incredible, you know, generational relationship between the three of them.
Yes.
And I just thought it was very neat to see. I really enjoyed the chemistry, and I enjoyed their dialogue, even though X-23 doesn't have many of it.
But I like that, because if you think about it, if you think about Logan or Wolverine, he really didn't speak much towards the beginning of these X-Men films either. It was a lot of just angry grunts and like a lot of mean stares, which I would say X-23 nailed in this movie. Another thing that I really, it broke my heart to see, but I also enjoyed seeing it. I know that sounds weird, but Professor X, he is, like I've said already, he's much older, and his brain has become unstable, but knowing what his power is, his mutant power, and being unstable, which causes a lot of danger and uncertainties for those who are around him.
Let's talk about the one thing that is always on someone's mind, is the fact that this is a rated R movie. And
they don't let you forget it.
No, never at any point throughout this movie do you go, oh, I forgot this was rated R. This is the Wolverine that we've been wanting to see from day one. It is brutal. It is just...
And do I say thank you, Deadpool, for opening that door?
I think you kind of have to.
Dare I say that? Because that is the first Marvel rated R, I think.
Well, yeah, it is. It's the first rated R. Yeah, I guess rated R. Well, no, because, you know, there's still Blade, which was rated R.
Is that Marvel?
Is Blade Marvel? Blade is Marvel.
Okay.
I don't know if it's Marvel Studios. Well, of course, this is Fox Studios.
Right. But I do really appreciate that. Like, I mean, this is not like, oh, it's just rated R with some gore. Like, this is a hard R, and don't you forget it.
Lots of blood, lots of gore, lots of violence, lots of swearing,
Let's talk about the action.
The action in
and
this
the fight
movie.
Scenes.
There are parts in this movie that I was almost standing on my feet going, yeah! Woo! And it is just...
And it's also from beginning to end. Like, there's no law on with the action, I would say, like, there's very few comic book movies or action films that has me on at the edge of my seat almost the entire time. Mm-hmm. And I really felt like as the credits rolled, I was like, whew, and I was like, oh my God, I feel like I was holding my breath for that entire movie. And it's in a good way, too.
There's very few movies that I've come out of where when you come out, you just feel exhausted because during the movie, you're going, mm-hmm. And you're just, when you come out, you're just huffing and puffing because you're exhausted and tired. And then they did some really good emotional scenes. I can't get into them very much because they're a little bit of spoilers, mm-hmm. but yeah. There are some moments that you just really do get the feels and you're just heartbroken. And I just think this movie has a well-rounded action, well-rounded story, good characters, and just good chemistry. And I just really liked that it had a nice flow to it as well.
This movie, for me, progressively just got better and better and better with every act. Now, it started off on a pretty high note for me, and that was just Act 1. By the time we got to Act 2, I was like, it can't get better than this. Like, I hope it just evens out and gives a smooth ride. Not a smooth ride, but, like, let's just ride this level of energy to the end. But it climbs up, if you can believe it. And believe in the hype for this movie when you start seeing reviews pour in, because Fox isn't messing around. James Mangold is not messing around. All the actors brought it. And Daphne King, being such a young actress, I think she's 8 in the movie, but I think she's actually 11 years old. She is a phenomenal actress. I mean, not only she has some very intense scenes as far as the fighting goes, and I don't know how much of her own stunts she actually did because she is little, but there are also some emotional scenes that she is in, and she's acting opposite to very well-established actors, one being Patrick Stewart and the other being Hugh Jackman. So, I mean, that is a lot to be compared to. And I think she really did a phenomenal job, and I'm pretty sure we're going to see her in a lot more things.
One thing that I also really did like about this movie is that they kept the story simple. It was a very simple outline. There might be spoilers in what I say here, but I'm going to try to keep it so it doesn't really have spoilers. The basic story of, it's about Logan, gotten older, doesn't want to do any more adventuring, he just wants to go out and escape from the world, and then this girl comes into his life, and he's struggling with whether or not to help her.
Yes. I don't think that's a spoiler.
I was going to say some more stuff, but I'm like, you know what? That's all you really need to know.
That's a good place to end it.
And that's the whole story. There's really nothing else that they throw in there. No other, like, twists or turns.
Right.
Like they've tried to do in some other movie, other Marvel or X-Men movies. And I'm just like, just keep it simple. And I'm really happy that that's what they did.
So let's go ahead now and talk about some of the things maybe we didn't like so much about this movie.
One thing that helped me, that I didn't like very much was, the villains.
Yeah. The
villains were a little weak. They were there and they kind of, they did their job. They were the bad henchmen, pretty much. And then the one bad scientist.
Yeah, specifically, we're also talking about Boyd Holbrook. I believe that's his name. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But yes, he was a baddie with a lot of swagger, and he served its purpose to move the story along, but I would have liked to see a little bit more of a backstory on him for those who you're walking into this and you don't know the story of Old Man Logan, or you're not familiar enough with it to just, see this guy and you're gonna like, so he's bad, he works for the bad guys, but then why is he there and where did he come from? I would have liked just to see a smidget of that. Yeah. A little bit more development from him, just a little bit. He doesn't need to steal any scenes. I feel like I'm nitpicking because in reality, I don't care. If you want to think about it, when I walk in to see Logan, what I'm trying to say is I don't need to see other people. I want to see Wolverine, and I want to see Logan. They keep saying this is his last appearance as Wolverine, so if this truly is his last appearance, I'm going to hold on to that, and I want to see a lot of Wolverine on screen, which we get plenty of.
So out of 10, what would you give Logan?
This movie, I think internally and emotionally it's messed me up because there were a lot of scenes where I felt like I was going to just burst into tears. But I didn't want to let myself burst into tears because I was so pulled in by it that I was like, I cannot waste tears right now. I need to pay attention to what's happening on the screen. I can cry about it later. So I already warned him in the car ride on the way home. I was like, look, when we get home, after the review, if I just burst into tears because I'm finally letting it out, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, this is exactly what I expected it to be. It didn't go way above what I expected because I set the bar, I think, pretty high going in, and I am really satisfied with this movie. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10, you guys.
Oh. Okay, I'm going to give it a little bit lower because I'm starting to become a little bit more strict with my
and that's fine.
Review numbers. I was going to give it an 8.5. An 8, 8.5.
That's still a really high number.
Which is still, it's still a really good movie. Go see it. If you're into Marvel movies, if you're into comic book movies, even if you're not, this is still a good action flick that I would highly recommend.
Oh, one more thing I wanted to add is that we talked about this movie being a hard R language and gore and gory action fight. I can't even speak. Gory
action fights.
Gory action scenes and whatnot. But don't let it fool you into thinking that this is all serious tone like what you've seen in the trailer with like the Johnny Cash song. There is humor placed in the movie, and it's very well placed with very well timed. The pacing is really good in this movie, so just know that you're not in for this like really depressing movie that wants to make you burst into tears in your apartment after you review the movie. So you'll get some laughs out of this one too. That's it for our review. Go ahead and comment your thoughts below, and as always, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.